Alright, so I've had a little bit of problem with the first Advanced Warfare video, so I figured since the NCAA Tournament was coming up, I figured we'd do a March Madness video instead. So this is basically going to be this year's tournament, mostly, but instead of the 2023 rosters, we're doing it with the 2009 rosters because this is NCAA Basketball 10, the last licensed college basketball game to be made as of this video. Now, the time I'm recording this is about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, Wednesday, March 15th. The tournament officially starts Thursday, March 16th, which is tomorrow, and I do plan on uploading this tomorrow morning. But I do have to confess something. There are a couple of teams in the game, or in the tournament, that aren't in the game, like Kennesaw State's not in the game, Grand Canyon University isn't in the game. So what I have done is I have taken some of the first four teams. I've taken a couple of the first four teams and slotted them in so that we could make a 64-team bracket out of the 68 teams that were invited to participate in this year's NCAA tournament. So, yeah, I have picked Maryland. No particular reason, just thought it'd be cool. We're going to simulate the entire tournament until we have a champion. So, let's go. Yeah, here, I'm not actually going to play any of the games here, so we're just going to do this. We're going to overwrite this tournament. This is the second time I've tried to do it. The first time I tried to do it, there were several teams that were accidentally put in over other teams that were supposed to be in there. Normally what would happen was my finger would slip on the D-pad and a team somewhere would change from the one I was supposed to put there to like the one next to it alphabetically, and I didn't notice until I had put it. I'd already started the tournament, so I couldn't go back and change it. But all right. I also couldn't find Texas A&M Corpus Christi the first time because apparently in this game it's listed as simply A&M Corpus Christi, not Texas A&M. So I was looking in the T area, but no, A&M Corpus Christi is literally the first team alphabetically in the game. All right, so we'll start with the South region. Bama and AMCC simulate. Okay. Bama wins. Ooh, 77-76. Almost a 16-1 upset. Oh boy. Alright, what about Maryland and West Virginia? Come on now. Come on, I don't want to get eliminated in the very first round. There we go. 83-60. That's better. That's what I want to see more of. Down here in the second set of matchups, we have San Diego State demolishing the College of Charleston 98-60. Beat them by almost 40 points. It doesn't have the custom names on here, which is interesting. I thought that the last time I tried to do this, it had custom names. Now it's just being listed by position and number. Okay, well, that's not too important. Let's see, Virginia and Furman. Virginia beats Furman 100-66. Alrighty. So let's see. This is who is CU? I don't even remember. Oh, is that Creighton? Yeah, it's Creighton and NC State. And NC State, or no, Creighton wins 93-70, which means that the Blue Jays and their terrible logo in this game, frankly, are moving on to the next round. I know they've changed it since then, and thank God, because the newer logo is so much better. I apologize if I sound weird. I'm dealing with some sinus problems at the moment. I've got a lot of congestion in my head. Anyway, if you hear me sniffling a lot, that's why. Alright, we got Baylor and Cal Santa Barbara. Simulate. And Baylor, whoops, Santa Barbara, 100 to 59. Okay, so then we've got Missouri and Utah State. Missouri wins 84 to 62. And finally, for this region, Arizona and Princeton, where Princeton gets the upset, 93 to 75. So number 2 in the South is going home after the round of 64. So for the second round, it's a 1-8, 4-5, 3-6, and then a 7 and a 15. It's crazy. All right, we'll go over to the West right now. Simulate Kansas and Howard. Oh boy, Kansas wins 131 to 64. They scored more points in the first half than Howard did the whole game. My gosh. Talk about a whooping. Alright, let's see here. Maryland, West Virginia. Wait, hold up. Oh, that's going to take me back. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Arkansas and Illinois. Illinois beats Arkansas 86 to 80. Very close game there. Yeah, it's going to keep taking me back to the South region. That's annoying. Alright, let's see here. Got St. Mary's and VCU. Let's go ahead and simulate that. And St. Mary's wins it 76 to 65. And UConn beats Iona 97 to 54. Let's see here. Alright, where was I? Oh, yeah, right. TCU and Nevada. Nevada wins 78-66. So another upset over here in the West region. And Gonzaga takes care of Grambling State, who is subbed in for Grand Canyon University. Grambling State was not one of the first 4 teams, but I don't know, it was near Grand Canyon alphabetically, so I went with it. Anyway, Gonzaga wins 84 to 66. Not that I was expecting Grand Canyon to do very well anyway. And now that I've said that, watch them go out and beat Gonzaga tomorrow or Friday or whatever it is. Let's see here. Northwestern and Boise State. Northwestern wins 97-86. Good fight. And then UCLA versus UNC Asheville. UCLA wins 100 to 62. All right. In the Midwest, Houston beats Arizona State 85 to 69. Iowa defeats Auburn 98 to 73. Got 29 points. Miami beats Drake 82 to 66. And Illinois beats Kent State 116 to 68. Indiana had a guy with 30 points and a guy with 29 points. And there's, Kent State had a guy with 23 points. Let's see. No, hold on, wait, I went too far. Let's see. Here we are. Pittsburgh beats Iowa State 100 to 90. Wow. So, another upset over in the Midwest. And then Fairleigh Dickinson tops Xavier 72 to 63. They had a guy who played 21 minutes and didn't score a single point. That's not good. I mean, obviously, if you want to win, you got to have all your starters score something, right? Texas A&M beats Penn State 90 to 83. I am going to start flipping over to the other team's stats. I should have done that for the first few games, but oh well. I'm not going back and doing them now. Let's see here. Yeah, I was right here. Texas beats Colgate 117 to 44. My goodness, somebody call the cops. We just had a freaking murder at the Bradley Center. Good Lord. Man, that is something else. Colgate had one starter that scored in the double digits. They had a guy who scored 0 points. This one guy put up 21. That's nearly half the points on the team. The center put up 1, shooting guard 9, point guard 2, and then some bench players put up 2, 4, 3. My gosh. Good Lord, Colgate. Stick to toothpaste, man, I swear. Alright, we did all this already. This is the East region. This is all that's left. Alright, Purdue, and this is... what, Texas State? No, Texas Southern. My bad. Yep. Purdue beats Texas Southern 108-50. Purdue center had 37 points. And poor TSU never stood a chance. Memphis beats Florida Atlantic 110-57. Shooting forward, number 20 for Memphis had 48 points. He single-handedly outscored the entire Florida Atlantic team. Holy crap. That is... good Lord. Imagine if that happened today. I mean, if I'm Florida Atlantic, I'm shutting down the basketball program. You're not coming back from that L. Oh my goodness. What a performance. Alright, Duke beats Oral Roberts 104-44. Not like I wasn't expecting this, but still. Look at that. Point guard number 30 had 43 points. He was only 1 point short of the entire Oral Roberts team. And Oral Roberts' top scorer had 13 points. That's just bad, man. That's sad. Oh my gosh. Somebody call a doctor for some of these lower seeded teams, man. Good Lord. Alright, next up we got Tennessee and... not sure who UL is. Louisiana. 99-77, so not a total blowout. You know, it's a little better. Still lost, though. Alright, so Kentucky and Providence. Kentucky wins 100-75. Poor Providence, number 2, had 35 points, but, you know, not enough, unfortunately. Did we look at the stats for... no, what was that game? Hold up. For the Duke Oral Roberts game for the other team? Yeah, okay, good. I wanted to make sure that we did. Yeah, alright. So now we're down to... no, we already did... no, actually, yeah, no, we haven't... yeah, we did Kentucky and Providence. Okay. Alright, Kansas State and Montana State. Kansas State wins 96-63. 2 players for Kansas State had 20 points. Montana State had 1 guy with 21, but again, their center had 0 points. He was on the floor for 31 minutes, took 2 shots, and did nothing else of note. Well, no, never mind. He had a couple some defensive rebounds, and a turnover and a block. Yeah, but again, you know, nothing, no baskets, no points. All right. This is, I think, Michigan State and USC. Yep. 95-54. Michigan State top scorer at 25. USC top scorer 23. And then look at this. Princeton with the upset over Arizona, 93-75. So that's, what, 2 number 2 seeds that have gone down in this tournament now? Got 24 points for Arizona. Princeton, they had a guy who put up 36. That's really good. Or, no, wait, sorry. That was... we already did that game. Okay, well, you know, this time you got to see the Providence stats. Give some love to that guy who scored 36 points. This is the game I was talking about. You know, still 15-2. Vermont beats Marquette by 1 point in overtime. Look at that. Marquette 17, 18, 18. You know, 11 and 9. And then Vermont had 22, 15, 18, 16, and then, 4. Maybe if number 21 had stepped up a little more, Marquette could have avoided this thing. Actually, no, wait, that was Vermont. That was Vermont who had the 4-point score. Well, maybe if he had stepped up a little bit, they could have had an even bigger lead. I forget it shows the home team first instead of the team that won. Okay, we're back in the South region. Now we're on the second round. We're 15 minutes into the video. Good lord. Okay. Took me an hour to set up. It's probably going to take me an hour to complete. Alright, simulate game. And Maryland's out. 96-85 over Alabama. Alabama beat us 96-85. Alabama had 2 20-point scorers. Maryland had 3. But, sometimes it's just not enough. We have to live with that. So here we got Virginia and San Diego State. No, I don't want to simulate that game yet. Let's see this one. Virginia wins 94-84. Virginia had 3 players who scored more than 20 points. San Diego State had 3 players who scored exactly 20 points. Huh. Okay. Anyway, next up we have Baylor and Creighton. That's Creighton. I keep thinking that's Colorado for some reason. Colorado's not in this simulation. Baylor wins 97-80. Baylor had a 23 and a 27-point score, and Creighton couldn't get anybody to top 20, unfortunately. It sucks to be them, I guess. And then Missouri beats Princeton 79-71, so unfortunately, Princeton, their ride is over. Missouri had a guy who stood there for 28 minutes and didn't score anything. That's a little concerning. Oh, they had a guy who came off the bench and put up 18. Okay. That makes it a little better, I guess. Princeton had 3 starters who put up double digits, but none of them could get to 20, unfortunately. The top scorer had 19, and they had 18 as well. We're just going to do it from, we're just going to do it backwards this time from how we did it the first time. Purdue beats Memphis 109-50. Good lord, Memphis only put up 16 points in the second half. Purdue had 3 20-point scorers. Top score was 25. No, wait, 3 bench players who scored anything. And Memphis, 0, 3, and 6 points from starters, and then 16 and 14. Yeah. I mean, this wasn't even close in the first half, but, good lord, you could have at least tried Memphis. Anyway, the Tigers got skinned alive. Now they're going home. Tennessee and Duke have yet to play. And Tennessee wins 84-72. Tennessee had 24 and 26-point scores. And Duke had a 27-point score, but unfortunately nobody else could get above 20. So that sucks. For them, I guess. So, Kansas State and Kentucky. Kansas State wins 111-63. Wow, okay. They scored almost as many points in the second half as Kentucky did the whole game. And look at this. They had 4 players who put up 20 points each. Or, 20 or more points. They had 20, 20, 20, and 29, and then they had their center put up 13. But, I mean, still. Basically, all 5 of your starters are averaging more than 20 points in this game. And then Kentucky had 9, 6, 7, 15, and 13. Which is just, honestly, just kind of sad. Michigan State beats Vermont 86-52. Michigan State, nobody got above 20 points yet, but they won the game. Hey, Look at this. Vermont had starters that scored 2, 6, and 8 points, and then they had 2 that put up 14 each. My goodness. Okay, all right, that's it for that was the East region, right? Yeah. So we're going on to the Midwest region now. Houston beats Iowa 91-67. Look at that. Houston had a 43-point score, number 12. That's really good for him. Iowa, I mean, yeah. Indiana, Miami. Indiana wins 84-82. Close game here. But, yeah, overall, pretty similar numbers. So, yeah, sounds like a good game. Wish I could have been there. Pitt and Fairleigh Dickinson, battle of the lower seeds. Pittsburgh wins it 70-59. And there are your numbers. Just trying to hurry up because this is taking too long. We're already 20 minutes into the video. Texas and Texas A&M. Good old Texas battle. And Texas steamrolls the Aggies 106-64. Sorry, Aggies fans. To the west. Kansas, Illinois. Kansas wins 96-68. So, yeah. Kansas had 24 and 21 point scores. Illinois had a guy who put up 27, but not enough, unfortunately. Let's see here. Connecticut and St. Mary's. Connecticut wins 108-61. Connecticut had a 27 and 28 pointer on the court. St. Mary's had 21. But again, starters that are only putting up 2 points, even though they've been out there for half the game, not good. Can't be doing that if you want to win, unless you have a guy coming off the bench who manages to make up for it, like I can't remember what team it was now. You can go back and look at it. The guy that came in and put up 18 off the bench, and they won that game. Where were we? Oh yeah, Gonzaga, Nevada. Gonzaga wins 67-65. Again, a pretty close game here. Nevada blew a first half lead. But yeah, power forward putting up 1 point in 36 minutes. 3 points in 24 minutes. I mean, 8 points in 37 minutes. I know Gonzaga won, but okay, well, he didn't shoot very much, so, yeah. But, this guy took 7 shots. This guy took 9. I mean, it's just kind of sad, honestly. Rough day at the office. Finally, UCLA and Northwestern. UCLA wins 105-66. Not even close. No crazy scoring performances. Just a good old-fashioned beatdown. Starting shooting guard for Northwestern had 0 points on 2 shots. Man was out there for 28 minutes. Okay, well anyway. And on to the Sweet 16. So, Alabama and Virginia. Oh, Virginia gets the 1 point win in overtime and knocks Alabama out of the tournament. Wow, look at that. Look how close this game was. They were tied at halftime, tied at the end of regulation, and Virginia wins by a point. That is wild, man. That must have been the game of the year right there. Man, that sounds like a really good one. Now I wish I could have seen that. It was probably a buzzer beater too, honestly. Baylor and Missouri. And Baylor wins 97-80. So Baylor's moving on to the Elite Eight. They'll play, Baylor's moving on. They'll play Virginia. I don't know why I went to the West, but okay. My gosh, Kansas is just rolling over people. 117-67. All of their lowest scoring starter had 15 points. They had 19, 19, 18, and 20. They had a guy come off the bench and shoot 10. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at these Jayhawks. I mean, they beat the crap out of Howard. They, was slightly closer against Illinois, but they still beat them by almost 30 points. It's going to be hard to hard to beat them. Although, you know, admittedly they were playing a 16 seed and a 9 seed, but, you know, they just walked a 4 seed, so. Anyway, Connecticut and... Oh, no, wait, never mind. That's the last round. I'm an idiot, sorry. Let's see. UCLA and Gonzaga. UCLA wins it 92-68. Yeah, UCLA had a guy come off the bench and put up 12. Gonzaga... Yeah, they just couldn't do it, unfortunately. Houston and Indiana. And Houston beats the crap out of Indiana, 81-55. 20, 22, 18 points. Yeah. We're having a lot of blowouts here as we weed out some of these teams. Which, you know, obviously when you get to the Sweet 16, it's not usually like that. You know, maybe 1 or 2 games, especially if it's a lower seed playing in them, but still, I mean, you know. And look at this. 107-42. 70-second half points. They outscored Pittsburgh 70-18 in the second half. It went from being a 13-point game at the half, which is, you know, perfectly manageable, to being a, let me count this correctly, 65-point victory. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Look at this. 2 starters that didn't score any points. I mean, they only took 3 shots, but still. Only 1 player scored in double digits. Good lord. I swear some of these teams... I mean, to be fair, Pittsburgh was an 11 seed, but still, how do you collapse that hard? Alright, Purdue and Tennessee. Purdue beats Tennessee 95-60. Number 25 for Purdue had 36 points. And Tennessee lost, so who cares? And last game is Kansas State and Montana State, or Michigan State, actually, sorry. 85-78. Okay, finally, a close game. Michigan State wins this one. Yeah, just looks like a solid, spread out night from the floor. 13, 18, 11, 13, 11, 10 off the bench. Looks pretty good. Okay, all right, Elite 8 time. Here we go. Baylor, Virginia. Virginia wins 81-73. That's nice. At least it was close. You know, Baylor had a 23-point score. Virginia had 15, 15, 25, 9, and 9. So Virginia's on to the Final Four. In the West, it's Kansas and UCLA, the 1-2 seeds. And Kansas steamrolls the Bruins. My gosh. I think Kansas is just going to run away with it this year. I don't even think it's going to be close. I mean, in real life, they are the defending national champions, so, you know, I'd assume they do have a good shot at winning this tournament. But still, I mean, good lord. Wow. Alright, so next up is Houston and Texas. Another Texas battle. And Texas runs away with it. 100-67. So that's 3 Elite 8 games now, and 2 of them were blowouts. And Texas had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double-digit scores. Houston had a guy who put up 28, but unfortunately it was not enough. Alright, so that leaves us with what? Purdue and Michigan State? And Purdue wins 102-81, so a little closer. Still not great, though. Purdue had 2 30-point scores in this game. And, yeah, Michigan State just couldn't keep up. Looks like they had a bad first half. You know, they were better in the second half, but, you know, they still lost by 21 points. Okay, so the Elite 8 is Kansas, Virginia, Purdue, and Texas. So a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 4. You know what, we'll start with Purdue and Texas first. And Purdue wins 102-74. Purdue had a 30-point score, 23-pointer. And, yeah. Just... Again, looks like Texas had a bad first half. They were a little better in the second half. They were able to keep up, but it just wasn't meant to be at that point. Okay. All right, here we go. Final four, Kansas and Virginia. I would be surprised if this isn't another Kansas runaway. 79-54. Okay, this one at least looks like somewhat resembles a decent game, although you can just tell by the box score that Kansas led this whole time. Has Kansas trailed at any point in this tournament? I don't think so. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure Kansas is just going to run away with it, you know? Dang, man. Alright, well, national title time. Purdue and Kansas. So, take your pick. Place a bet if you feel like it. My money's on Kansas. Alright, we're 3, 2, 1, and Kansas beat the crap out of them again. 95-60. And yeah, the point guard had a 40-point game. National title game, that's a good time to do it. Man was 9 for 15 from 3. I mean, yeah, that's 60%. You know, that's a really solid performance. But, yeah, that's it. Can we go back and look at Kansas for a moment? Because, like, you know, look at this. Kansas won by 131-64. So that's, what, 67 points, I think? Hold up. I'm gonna pull out a calculator here, because I need to... I want to calculate this real quick before we go. Let's see here. So, first of all, let me make sure I'm right on that. 131-64 is 67. Okay. 96-68, that's 28 points. UConn game, they won by 50. UCLA game, they won by, let's see here, 56. Or, wait. No. Not 56. No, that was 44. Okay, I'll subtract 12 from that. My bad. And then that was the Elite Eight game, right? Yeah, okay, good. And then in the Final Four, they beat Virginia by, let's see, 79 minus 54 is 25. And then they beat Purdue by 35. So over the 6 total games that they played, Kansas won. Their combined winning margin was 249 points. And feel free to go back and double check that if you want to, but yeah, that is wild. So apparently, according to NCAA Basketball 10, Kansas is going to completely run away with the tournament. But, yeah, so that's it for this. I know this video was kind of long. I didn't really know how long it would take, but it was something I wanted to do, so, yeah, I felt like it was worth it. But, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, I guess, and I'll see you next time.